have an exit plan. And I think with every circumstance, it can be a little bit different. So in a relationship, you don't really need an exit plan when it's casual. You can just say, I choose not to date you anymore, and you can list your reasons, or you don't have to. That's a very direct exit. That's just, I'm going to get up, I see the exit, and I'm just walking out of it. Now, perhaps in something like a marriage where there's children, there's assets to be considered, that might take a little bit more strategizing, and it doesn't mean you have to do it in a sneaky sort of way. It just means maybe you're weighing your options a little bit more. Is this something that I really want to get out of? Is this something that I'm willing to walk away from? What effect is this going to have on my children, on my finances, on my future, all sorts of things? And doesn't mean that it has to be a terribly abusive circumstance. It could just mean that it's just something that we all grow in different directions, and maybe we're just at that point where we're just growing in different directions. But my point is have an exit strategy. That's relationships. Now you have something like, say you want to move from an apartment to a house, or you want to move from a house to another house. What's your exit strategy? Well, you got to start saving. If you haven't already, start looking at what it is that you want to move to and where you want to be. What's in that surrounding area? Is there a good school system for your children? If you don't have kids, what's around there that's going to be socially friendly for you, that you don't have to drive clear across town just to enjoy yourself or find entertainment? Is the cost of living, is that going to work well? Is the value, the property value, what's that going to be like? So sometimes leaving one thing just for another, we want to make sure that it's in our best thought out interest. Jobs, when you're looking at your job, most of the time I would say, and I tell my daughter this all the time, think with logic, not emotion. And emotion is what's going to get you to say, you know what, I'm just leaving right now. I'm going to quit. I'm not thinking about anything else. You guys have annoyed me or whatever else. And sometimes you reach that breaking point. But if you've gotten to that point where logic would say, I need to start looking for another job, or if you're even willing to risk a little bit more than just finding another job first, I need to start saving enough that when I leave my job, I'm good for another couple months or a few months, or I need to start paying my bills off ahead of time, so while I'm looking for a job, I don't have to worry about anything else other than finding a job because I've taken care of that. But when you get to certain places, you just want to make sure that all of your thoughts when it comes to an exit strategy are really well thought out, because usually once that door closes, there's not a going back. And most of us, if you've split with your ex, they're your ex for a reason. But sometimes people do want to, run it back. I thought it over, and it's not a good place out here. And, I reacted too harshly, and think that one through. Because again, when you're thinking with emotion that I've had enough and you've annoyed me for the last time, and then you're calling back and wishing that you had a second chance, well, that your second chance was you before you made that emotional decision. Same thing with the job. Calling your job back and saying, I want this job, after you just stormed out. Chances are it's not going to work out well in your favor. So think these things through when you're talking about exit strategies. Even when you are talking about transitioning to the next world or whatever it is, what's your exit strategy? Are you leaving things behind for people? Is it in order? Is your will in place? Do you have the things going to the people that need to? Are all your affairs in order? So when something does happen, your survivors don't have to clean anything else up because they're already grieving, dealing with what's to happen. There's just a lot of places that we really can think our exit strategies through. I'm sure you guys might have a couple ideas or experiences when it has come to that. So what are your thoughts when it comes to that? I'm of the mind of really try to project it out there, get it out there. What are my thoughts? Like, give me a list of 10 things that, to think of and consider when it comes to that. Again, whether it's a relationship, whether it's your housing, whether it's your job, whether it's you just moving on to the next life, whatever it is, I'd love to hear what you guys have when it comes to thoughts about that. And leave in the comments. Ace up the sleeve, advice, comment, experience, subscriptions to the channel are free. And as always, I hope this finds everybody in your place, pursuit, or beginnings of total health, mind, body, and soul. Peace, love, unity, solidarity, and of course, subscriptions and videos. Stick around.